Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. I do a Q&A Sunday, and what's going to be happening right now, you're in luck, by the way, because I'm going to be answering questions from last week's Q&A Sunday, which is cool, but the reason you're in luck is because if you ask a question right now in the comments below, next Sunday, I will be doing my best to answer as many questions as I can from you right now commenting. So if you've got a niggling, burning question around property investment, tax, mortgages, the economy, making money, comment below. So let's see what we had last week. The questions, I've never done a Q&A Sunday video where I'm looking through the questions thinking these questions suck. Like, you guys are just on it, and your questions, I can tell that you're a smart following because of your awesome questions. So let's see what we've got. Lewis, Clark, Joel, Berry, Craig. All right, let's take some of these. What does Craig say? Craig Ackerman. He says, "Hi Samuel, since watching your videos and attending the crash course last year, I've been buying properties using the BRRR strategy." Boom! Good job, man. I'm glad you came to the crash course. "And I'll be shortly completing on my 4th property purchase. When refinancing, I use interest-only mortgages to maximize cash flow and leverage as I'm looking to grow my portfolio." Smart. "At what stage in my property journey would you advise to consider switching them to a repayment mortgage? Or would you just wait until the latter end of my life and hope that the properties have greatly appreciated over time and potentially sell off some in order to then use the profits to clear the debt on the others? Keep up the great work." Craig, firstly, congratulations. Sounds like you've been doing it right. BRRR is buy, refurbish, refinance, pull your money back, and then you can keep buying lots of properties that way. To answer your question, would I stop paying down the mortgages? Personally, I probably wouldn't. Now, I can't advise you on what to do because what you do with your personal finances is obviously your decision. Myself, so for the first 10 years of investing in property, I was just interest only, interest only, interest only. And the reason for that is exactly as you've said, because if I'm paying down the mortgages, I'd rather, instead of using my money to pay off mortgages, I'd use that money to put down on more deposits, to then scale, leverage, grow a bigger portfolio, get more cash flow, benefit from more capital appreciation, from more houses. So it just makes sense. And even like very, very wealthy people like Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone, like they use interest-only mortgages. They're not paying down their mortgages. They're still leveraging other people's money and the bank's money. So I think the answer to your question is, if you get to a point where you don't want to continue scaling, if you're at a point where you think, you know what, I don't want any more houses, I don't want to scale my wealth anymore, then fair enough, maybe stop paying down the mortgages. For me, in 2019, I did start paying off mortgages. I paid off so many mortgages, and I also started lending money, and I almost got a bit lazy and I thought, I'm happy now, I don't need more money. And it was actually Grant Cardone that called me out on this in a private one-on-one mentoring session, and he was just like, "Dude, are you over the hill now?" I was like, "I'm not over the hill." He was like, "Well, you're not scaling big anymore. You kind of slowing down." I was thinking, he's in his 60s, I'm still in my 20s. Like, if he's still leveraging and scaling and growing, and I'm now thinking, I've got enough houses now, I'm gonna start being, maybe my mindset is wrong. Maybe I wanna be as wealthy as I can, not just for me, so I can have a lot of wealth, so I can impact more people. So for me, I'm more about interest only. And then at the end of the term, you can just sell off some of the houses and pay off some of the mortgages, or renew, or the world is your oyster. That's my personal plan. So I hope that helps. Thanks for your great question. Good to see you kicking ass. Come back to the crash course, Craig, and let's celebrate.
Benji Fox says, "Hi Samuel, my question is, what did you do different to everybody else in the industry to become a millionaire whilst others still are not? How did you build up your money?" Benji, that's a really good question. I guess it's the millionaire's question. I became a millionaire. I started out investing in property and I wanted to invest. So I bought a property, refinanced it the same day, put it in my stepdad's name because I was too young to get a mortgage. And I slowly started using strategies like lease option agreements. I was managing properties to try and get my foot in the door. And that's how I became financially free. How I became a millionaire, believe it or not, was actually through deal sourcing. Because once I'd become financially free, building my own property portfolio, I then thought, okay, I want to buy more houses, but I haven't got money. And one of the ways that I wanted to raise money, I thought, well, if I maybe find some good deals and pass them on to investors, charge a fee, I can use the fee to build my own portfolio. And I became really good at that. And I sold hundreds of property deals, charging minimum of £2,000, sometimes up to £7,000. And that is actually how I became a millionaire when I was 25, doing that combined with my own property investments. And then I snowballed my portfolio, refinanced and continued building it. And that's how it happened. I think if you want to be a millionaire, you've got to work ridiculously hard. you've got to invest and you've also got to make money. You've got to be an entrepreneur and you've also got to be an investor together. And when you row the two oars hard, it can happen, but it's not necessarily for everybody. However, I do believe that everybody can become financially free, meaning that they replace their job with a property passive income, and that's really what I'm about teaching. So hope that helps. Great question. What's next? Lewis Edwards. Hi Samuel, I'm 15 years old, good for you, and was just wondering, how do you write a good business plan, or maybe you can do a video on it? It depends what the purpose of the business plan is. Is the business plan for a bank because you want to get a business loan? Is it for an investor? You want to get money? Or is it for you? If the business plan's for you, I would literally keep it really simple. I'd write down, what are your personal goals? I.e., I want to live in this kind of a house. I want to take this many holidays a year. I want to give this much to charity. What's your ideal personal life look like? And then how much is it going to cost to finance that your personal goals? And that's where your business goals come in. Okay, well, property is going to be my vehicle and I need X amount of money to fund my personal life. And now you've got the amount of money. It's now a case of the vehicle's property, but how are you going to get that money? And it's just a clear breakdown of exactly what you're going to do. You're also going to need to do a risk assessment on the bad things that can happen. And you might think, oh, risk assessment, that sounds really complicated. It's not. It's just write down on a piece of paper all the things that could go wrong and the ways that you could lose money. And then how are you going to prevent that from happening, and how are you going to de-risk it best you can? So all this is basically a business plan, and we do help people, our students on the academy, we help them write a business plan, which is for their purposes. But as I say, it depends what the purpose is. You're 15, just get writing one now. And it's really good to be clear on your goals, because most people that go into property and they haven't got a business plan, it's good that you're saying this, oh, I'm just going to start in property. It's like, well, what's your plan? If you haven't got a plan, what do they say? If you plan to fail, then you fail to plan. So good for you. I hope you liked the video by now. Remember, that's the first step to being a millionaire. Smash the like button. All right, next, Rico Talon. Hi Samuel, just finished watching your entire Q&A Sunday playlist. Wow, that's commitment. Respect. I hope you liked every video. Great content, obviously. I have a question. I hope to hear your take on it. For info, I'm based in Scotland. Would like to use your local mortgage broker, tax accountant, etc., as Scotland has a divergent tax system, or if investing across the country, use online brokers, solicitors, etc. Totally agree with agent nearby. Thank you kindly, Paul. Okay, Paul, so I think what you're saying is, should you be using should your power team, i.e. your solicitors, your brokers, your accountants, be local to your house where you live, or should you be using people online that are far away? And the answer is a little bit of both. So, of course, as you've said, for your management company, if they're managing your properties, you want them to be really close to your properties. Your accountants, your solicitors, your brokers, doesn't really matter. I mean, you might need to meet up with them occasionally to sign paperwork and stuff, but generally speaking, if they're a couple of hours away, it's no problem. Just make sure you get on with them, make sure they're investing in property themselves, and make sure they're solution finders, not problem finders. So as long as they understand what you're doing and they understand the laws within your country, you can literally use people anywhere. And sometimes people are like, I need an accountant near my house. You don't. You can use one a couple hours away. It's no problem. So that would be my advice. Hope that helps. Charles, did you ever get your hands dirty on any of your jobs? I know my hands look like kind of baby hands. I did. I really, really did. I don't get my hands super dirty very often now, but actually, you know what? When I started out in property, I worked on a building site for 6 weeks. I became a plasterer. I did lots of plastering. So in terms of hands-on work, I did do that. And also just getting my hands dirty by getting really stuck in. Moving the tenants in, moving the tenants out. I did that for years. I've been an estate agent, I've been a letting agent, I've been a plasterer, I've been a negotiator. So I have got my hands dirty. Now, I still get my hands dirty when I have to, but here's my general philosophy, and I hope this helps. I think that whenever you're doing something, you need to be thinking, am I learning? Am I earning? So you should probably get your hands really dirty at the beginning because you want to learn everything. And then once you know what to do, then you're going to employ people, they're going to do it for you, but you know what they're doing. You get the role. So, but for me right now, if I was to go and, if there was a some plastering that needed doing, for me to go and do that plastering myself, even though I can do it, wouldn't make sense financially because my time is too valuable. I'd rather pay someone else to do it. But also in doing it, I'm not even going to be learning because I already know how to do it. I'd probably be a bit rubbish now anyway, but that's kind of how I look at stuff. So I hope that helps, Charles. Get your hands dirty in the beginning. Make sure you've got good people around you so you're doing it but in a safe environment, and then replace yourself as often as you can. In business, you always want to be replacing yourself.
Next one, Aaron Harrott says, I've been trying to find a good rent-to-rent or LOA, lease option agreement, property. I'm finding loads, which could be good deals, but the problem is getting hold of the landlord. Any advice on how to get hold of the landlord? All right, so you're finding loads, but you can't get hold of the landlord. Where are you finding loads? Are you just driving through the streets thinking, that would be a good house, and you want to get hold of the landlord? Are you going on Rightmove? Where are you finding them? Listen, if I see a house, I drive by a house and I think, that's a good house, and I want to get in, I go on land registry, pay £3, and I'll get the details of the landlord, I'll get all the information that I need for £3. If I'm on Rightmove, you can find the address. Just zoom in and look at the door number. Or there are ways. On the crash course, we do it live. So if you haven't been to a crash course, get on the crash course. But generally speaking, for rent-to-rents and lease option agreements, I find them on places like Gumtree, on Spare Room, on Open Rent. The landlord's details are there. If someone's advertising their property to sell or to rent, they're advertising themselves. Their number will be on there. So if you're finding it on these websites, I could, within the space of 20 minutes, I could find over 100 contact details for direct landlords. And I just go straight to Gumtree and Spare Room and Open Rent. I could find the numbers. And then I could phone them up. Boom, 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 boom. And guess what? Probably about 10 of them would be like, no, I'm not interested. And then one of them would be like, okay, this could work. And then I'd jump on the phone or I'd do a viewing, and then that one would fall through. And then I'd have to phone another 10 and get another 10 rejections. And then I'd get another one, they'll be interested, and then I'd get a deal. So skill combined with activity, combined with just pick up the phone. So I don't know if that answered your question. I hope it did. My seminars are not seminars, okay? If you come to a Property Investors Crash Course or any of my training programs, it's a doing-nar. So Aaron, get down, we'll do it. In fact, I'm gonna put a link in the description to the Property Investors Crash Course. Sometimes people say, Samuel, the crash course is too far. It's so far. People come from Australia. So don't be stopped at the very first hurdle, because if you're stopped by a 3-hour car journey, oh man, you'll be also stopped by those 10 rejections that you get. You'll be like, I called 3 people and they said, no, this doesn't work. And then you'll probably start trolling my YouTube. It doesn't work. Just put in the activity, man. Like, you've got the content, you've got the information, put in the activity, get in the right environment. I love seeing you guys succeed. I know that's why you're here, that's why you're on my channel. So listen, let me ask you a favor. If you enjoy my YouTube videos, if they're helpful, please do smash the like button. Also subscribe, turn the notifications on. If you want me to answer your question, comment below, and I will be doing a video next week on Sunday at 7 p.m. and I'll be answering your questions, as many as I possibly can. Thanks so much for watching. Also the crash course, if you want to book on the crash course, I'll leave a link. Did you see that happen? Do you know why that's there? Because you need to click it, you need to book on it. Right now, go ahead. I hope to see you there. God bless, peace out.